Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Elizabeth Farmer. Restart over. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Elizabeth Farmer, and I'll be the moderator. All attendees are in listen-only mode. If you joined the audio via phone, please be sure you enter the PIN number to enable audio control. If you did not enter the PIN number, you may find it now by going to the audio section of the control box on the right side of your screen. You may enter questions in the chat box at any time, and all questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Today's event is sourcing and managing small groups. Such is her passion for travel planning that Elisa de Beaubien, excuse me, I left out part of it, wishes that she lived in a hotel. Her BS in Hotel, Restaurant, and Tourism Administration is the foundation of her career as a travel planner. The daily pressures of booking and managing hotel reservations for more than 20 years with companies like Globus and Yankee Holidays inspired Elisa in 2013 to collaborate with the Groupize team to automate the group hotel booking process. Today, as COO of Groupize, Elisa's mission is to empower both novice and professional planners to manage all aspects of their group hotel bookings with ease. So welcome, Elisa. We're very glad to have you with us today. And if you will hold on just 1 second, I'm going to make you the presenter. There you go. You can go ahead and show your screen and give us your great information.
Excellent. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm very excited to be here today and to introduce Groupize to your clientele. We're going to start with a slideshow that showcases the problem and why you may want to be interested in knowing how to rein in your small groups and meetings spend, as well as capture all of the rogue bookings. And we'll end with a video that shows the entire solution in process, and then we'll open up for questions. So again, thank you everyone for joining us today. We are here to help you learn more about why you may want to focus on your small groups and meetings business. First, please allow me to introduce you to us. We are 5 years old, we are venture funded, and we provide technology for not only TMCs and corporations, but also hotels and hotel chains. And in 2013, we were the proud winner of the Focusrite Innovation Award for Most Innovative Travel Technology. And we allow you to automate your corporate small groups and simple meetings. While our platform has no minimums or maximums, we have found that small groups typically classified as 2 to 25 hotel rooms or simple meetings with less than 50 participants is really an underserved market in the technology space. There are a lot of great solutions for large events, citywide, and registration, but there's really nothing that focuses on the needs of multi-room bookings, which may be popular in your organization. A lot of financial services, consultants, government, work crews, universities, faculty travel and student travel really have the need for multi-room bookings. And simple meetings such as day meetings, off-sites, trainings, board meetings, and sales meetings don't need the tools that one may consider for a multi-day, several thousand person group. And also, as your self-booking tool likely stops at 1 room at a time, and you know that you can count on your TMC, Travel On, for 10 plus rooms or even 20 or more rooms, you likely have a gap within your organization for these small groups and simple meetings. Just wanted to let you know that this is a big part of your business that's probably likely going unmanaged. In the USA alone, 30% of the hotel spend is on sleeping rooms, meeting space, and food and beverage. But 2/3 of those meetings have less than 50 participants. So that means that there's a lot of money that's being left on the table for the small groups and simple meetings. So today we're going to ask, are you ready to manage them? You should be, because we're finding that up to 80% of this type of travel is unmanaged, particularly meaning that there are admins or others within your organization that are going directly to hotels to either book or source, and therefore you are losing all of your opportunity to negotiate, to enforce discipline, process, and compliance. If you're using a self-booking tool that stops at 1 room at a time or maybe 3 rooms at a time, you're inadvertently forcing your admins to go direct. And that's expensive. It's high operational costs because not everything is managed from one location. And you may actually enjoy the process of going directly to suppliers, but in those requests where it's not complex enough for the full service support from Travelon, you would still like to make sure that your admins and your team are taking advantage of negotiated rates and preferred suppliers. And lastly, it's frustrating. The industry calls it the ERFP explosion. Statistics show that 3 out of 4 requests to hotels are not answered. American Express recently put out a survey that said it takes 8 days to source a simple meeting. And in today's age, who has that time? And it's frustrating. So we have found that in most annual business reviews that many corporations are coming to the TMC saying, this is really an underserved market. What are your solutions? So that's why we're proud to work with the Travel Leaders Group and Travelon to give you access to those solutions. So one link, one portal, completely customized for your corporation will allow you to get competitive bids from your hotels. It's more productive for every aspect within the organization, particularly the travel arrangers. From the portal, they can compare bids and negotiate. We have the workflows that allow those admins and travel arrangers to get approvals and house contracts. That's very important if you are in a mandated or even legislated environment where you need to prove that you have received multiple bids for each booking that you do. The system does it all. We have some universities that we work with, and we are displacing boxes and boxes of paper just by being able to prove through the portal that you are getting competitive bids and selecting the best one for your event. We are capturing all of the expenses and reporting on the savings. Bookings through the tool are more compliant. They address some of the principles of duty of care. Very, very exciting that we also include all of the Travel Leaders pre-negotiated corporate deals. That's at over 35,000 hotels worldwide. And you can also access your own negotiated rates. And lastly, our team does all of the operational support. At the end of the day, the technology takes it about 98% of the way, and we take it over the finish line. And what that means is that our team is actually calling every hotel to make sure they respond to your travel arrangers. So they never have to worry about calling a hotel to follow up anymore on a quote. We do that for them. They can just focus on the outcome, which is finalizing the transaction. So our system is 2 solutions in one, designed for the travel arrangers. You can either book sleeping rooms, 2 to 9 rooms, in real time in one transaction, and you can also manage those rooms. And in the same solution, you can get bids for meeting space. Everything is delivered to you via a link, mobile first and cloud-based, very easy to distribute amongst your organization. You can gate it if you would like for those that are approved to use it, but the ideal scenario is that you would have a portal page, maybe on your intranet, or if you have a travel dashboard, that you would train all of your arrangers to come to and access both their full service and our self-service solution. So for Travelon, for the large meetings and events, you could use the form to initiate your request when you wish to have full service assistance. And then for the smaller stuff, or the self-serve, as we like to call it, you can actually just proceed and booking in real time. But we have found that corporations that are struggling with adoption, particularly in their strategic meeting management program, or even with remembering to access their TMC for additional support, that this portal concept really helps. And as I mentioned, a big plus for everyone is that the portal comes included with the Travel Leaders as well as Zelle negotiated rates for their worldwide hotel program. So in those destinations that you don't already have negotiated savings, they're bringing it to you, and you can take advantage of that. And that is fantastic because in the past, your arrangers may not have even known that that was a benefit available to them. And so for booking 2 to 9 rooms, I can't reiterate enough how unique this is in the industry, because most corporations are using self-booking tools that allows you to book 1 room at a time. And for the 2 plus, it's out like a group. So that's why we offer a unique experience on those multi-room bookings. You can book from different room types. They don't have to be all the same room type. That is unique and a difference from many hotel websites and even some OTAs. For the back end, we are actually creating an individual PNR, passenger name record, in the GDS for Travelon to provide tracking to you and reporting on. That is extremely unique. There are no other solutions that are having a self-booking tool for groups and meetings that are creating that tracking. We have special workflows for virtual cards and card not present. So if that is a use case that is important to you, we would love to answer that at another time offline, but know that that's involved. We also can support modifications. I know a few clients may use Concur. We have a Concur integration, but most importantly, this is avoiding cancellation penalties, attrition clauses, and individuals in your organization signing contracts that they're not allowed to sign. So on top of instant booking, we also allow you to request bids for your meetings. Hotels are not ready to automate meeting space bookings yet, although we've been trying for some time. So what we have found is that the ability to get multiple bids shot from multiple hotels in one platform and manage all of those is very beneficial to the corporation, because then you are enforcing the need to actually negotiate and get competitive bids. So you can request up to 10 hotels. It doesn't need to be 10. It can be 3 or 4 if that's what your policy calls for. And they can also get the bids on meeting space. And if you've ever used a very comprehensive sourcing tool, maybe something like a Cvent or a Starsight, they're great, but those are designed for professional meeting planners. And professional meeting planners have very different use cases than admins or even procurement teams or travel managers within the corporation. So our usability is all designed for admins, travel managers, and procurement teams. And lastly, before we show the video, we're really excited. We've recently released a very disruptive feature, which is called our email bidding platform, and this allows hotels to do business how they want to by email, but we are still tracking all of the information in your portal. So essentially what this does is, in most cases, if you are sending a group request to a hotel, they either need to respond in their mandated system or learn somebody else's system to actually respond to you effectively, and that often causes a delay. But with our platform, they can either log in and respond to you or simply respond to the email they received alerting them of your request. And either way, all of the information comes back to you via email, but also goes in your dashboard. You'll see in the video, you have a My Trips dashboard, and all of your bookings and bids can be managed from that dashboard. And every piece of communication is parsed there. So you'll like it if you're at a procurement side because we're capturing the data, but travel arrangers love it because often when they're getting bids, they might be getting bids from 4 Hiltons in one city. And it's really hard to remember which one is their favorite. So they can go back to it and they can see all of the emails and communicate from there. Most importantly, it's reduced the hotel responsiveness by 5 times. So that's why we typically share that a hotel is going to respond to your arranger within 4 business hours. We are guaranteeing 24 business hours, but once you submit a request, those responses are going to come fast and furious. And again, that is a vast improvement over the industry statistic of 3 out of 4 not even being responded to. And the planner has a dashboard where they can really ensure that they're following the workflow, that they're getting approvals if they need it, that they can communicate directly with the hotel, and they can house their contracts. And the planners also enjoy that they have a budget estimator. They can compare all of the proposals, and once again, they can get approvals if they need it. And what's coming soon? Everybody asks us what's coming next, and that is room block management. And so this will be showcased in the video, And essentially, if you have made a booking of 2 to 9 rooms, you can manage that booking through our portal. You can cancel, you can provide additional or separate payments per room, we can change names. But what we're adding to that is if you have sourced and received a contract from the hotel and you want to have the same capabilities of managing those rooms, sending invitations for people to come in and claim their rooms, and asking simple registration questions, creating your rooming lists, that's going to be right in the planner dashboard as well. And everything tracks all of the spend and the savings. So Travel On monthly or quarterly, whatever your reporting cadence is, can actually use the tool to report all of your spend and savings. Typically, this brings awareness to a previously uncategorized group of spend. And more importantly, all of the booking data is housed here as well. So in case of emergency, if anyone ever needs to know where the hotel is or where the guest is, the system handles that as well. So travel arrangers, I think I have mentioned this, but they are supported by our contact center. So I want to point out again, 4-hour turnaround expectation from the hotels. We provide all of the email support and phone support and click to chat to your arrangers. Honestly, most of our inquiries come in via live chat, and the solution is we invest a lot on usability and user experience, so we always feel if you need a training manual, we're doing something wrong. So being able to reduce your procurement time down to about 90 seconds to initiate your initial request and have all of the responses come back to you, that's a huge time saver for these arrangers that probably have a lot of other work on their plate. So your portal would always be manned with a live chat, and of course there would be access to any team member via email or phone, but most importantly, we're supporting the hotels and making sure they are giving you the responses that you need. Basically, it's the work that nobody wants to do, and we like to do it. So with that being said, I've shared a lot of top-level benefits. I always feel that it's better if we can picture it in action. So we're going to show approximately a 2-minute video that's going to bring it all together for you. And I'm just going to increase the screen and start that video.
Groups and Meetings portal. First, start by deciding if you want to do a small group, a simple meeting, or a large meeting or event. For example, let's do a small group of 5, or maybe 9 rooms for employees going to a client. You can enter the address of the location, and by combining the power of direct GDS integration, you can see all the hotels nearby and their content. In one booking, you can hold rooms, book your corporation's pre-negotiated rates in real time, add individual names, upload Concur profiles, add payments, even virtual cards, and later modify each booking. No more need to book them one at a time. Now, let's say we need to source 30 rooms for a meeting. You can pick up to 10 hotels to get bids and ask for sleeping rooms, meeting space, food and beverage, and audio-visual. You can even attach a document if you have all your requirements. You will start receiving immediate, personalized responses from hotels and will typically receive most bids within 4 to 6 hours. Our contact center is behind the scenes helping you get those responses in a timely manner so you can go back to doing your real job. These bids will come directly into your email box, and you can communicate directly with the hotel without having to do anything different than you're used to doing. Meanwhile, the system will capture all of those communications and aggregate them, so you can compare bids, track all communications, proposals, and attachments within the Your Trip dashboard. Furthermore, as part of the automated workflows, you can negotiate, get contracts, calculate and monitor your budget, and get internal approval and signatures. You, key stakeholders, and the hotels will receive notifications and be kept alert on status changes and updates. All the data is available via reports or integrated into the GDS and Concur. Once you have your block reserved, you can create a private website for your event for attendees to register. You can send them an invite, and they can claim their own rooms and add their own individual payment forms. With the room block management solution and the Concur integration, no more need to manage rooming lists in Excel. Getting people to sign up for your next event is a breeze. Get started enter your first booking or bid in your portal and see how much easier your life will be.
Great. Well, I hope that that added some clarity to the information that we provided. And so before we open it up for questions, next steps, it would be great if you shared with your account manager that you're interested, in learning more. Sorry about that. That was a surprise. So please tell your account manager if you are interested in learning more. The rollout is very simple. You receive a link which is customized for your organization. You can share that with your travel arrangers. Travel On will lead a training call and a kickoff call. It's going to save your organization time, money, and frustration. And we also have a promotion for any new groups that are booked prior to August 31st that the arrangers, if they qualify and if that's acceptable within your organization, would receive a $50 gift card. And I hope through all of the information it may have brought awareness to what may be happening within your company. The more we dig and the more we talk to travel managers within corporations, we are finding that there are a lot of unmanaged multi-room bookings and small groups that could really benefit from the discipline of a process and a workflow, but delivered to the travel arranger in an easy-to-use manner via one link, and everything's captured. And so with that, Elizabeth, I would love to go to questions or answer any additional information.
Wonderful. Thank you, Elisa. And we do have a few questions that have come in. The first one is, are international locations included?
Excellent question. This is a worldwide portal, and there are negotiated rates worldwide. And more importantly, we are also pulling back the local currency that the hotel will be charging in. So yes, it is worldwide.
Okay. For the, I think this means for the real-time booking, is there a hard stop at 9 rooms? Or what would happen if I tried to do 10 or did 9 and then added a few more?
Excellent question. You're pretty savvy there. So with that, generically, we have over 100,000 hotels that can go up to 9 rooms. That is a hard stop within the GDS. We have a collection of approximately 1,500 hotels that go above and beyond that at up to 25 rooms. We do see many people booking 9 rooms and going back and booking 9 rooms again. That's completely acceptable use case. But to answer your question of how you would know, it's all decided by the widget. So I believe you can still see my screen. So when you put in where you're going, you would put in a city, a point of interest, a specific hotel name. The more information, the better. So if I put in Times Square and I put in my dates, if I put in anything under 9 rooms, and doesn't matter number of guests, and no meeting space, it's going to come back with the ability to actually book in real time. So the system knows what's available to be booked. So here in the portal, I have 150 hotels within the Times Square radius that are available to be booked. Some that aren't, you would be able to just request a bid. So the system tells you if they can be booked or not. And as you proceed in that, that's when you actually see all of your negotiated rates. Now, if you had needed meeting space or had gone above 10 rooms, you would just have the button that says Request Bid. So based on your initial inquiry in the widget, the system's going to tell you whether you can book now or request a bid.
Okay, thank you. As a follow-up to that, we have another question. Must I submit names at the time I make the reservation, or can I add the names later?
That's great. So on a sourcing, if you're not booking instantly, no names are needed until they are known, and then they can be added through the room block management tool. In an instant booking today, you would, if you were going to make one, I'm jumping around today, you would, as you were booking, need to actually add the names. We have seen, however, people use their own name and come back and change them later. So names is part of the workflow for an instant booking, but they can be modified later, or on a contract, they could be added later as well.
Okay, great. How robust is the request for bids as far as detail I can give the hotel about my special needs? Are there free-form areas besides just check boxes and selections for room setup, etc.?
Excellent. That is very important, and you do have multiple opportunities to share information with the hotel. So thank you for asking. I'm going to show you quickly. If you were here and you wanted to request up to those 10 hotels to get bids from, you simply add the hotels you want to request the bid. Just going to show you here, as we showed in the video, you have all of the content. So if it's a novice travel arranger, they have information that they can help them pick their hotels. If you are a power sourcer and you know that every time you go to Manhattan you stay at the Marriott Marquis, you can go to that property. But once you have requested the properties that you want to receive bids from, what you've entered populates, but you have multiple opportunities to add info. So here's one, additional requests. We see this as adding your favorite sales manager name or maybe your corporation's special concessions. You can also attach a file. So if you have terms and conditions that you make hotels guarantee back to you, you can attach that right from the get-go. And something that's coming soon is also the ability to have your portal loaded with pre-attached files. So to make sure that the admin never sends a request to a hotel without sending your guaranteed needs. And then in the meeting space, you also have multiple free-form opportunities for the event requirements, for the food and beverage requirements, audio-visual, as well as your negotiating terms. You have another opportunity to attach a file. And then lastly, in your checkout, you have one last shot to do that. And then essentially what I've showed you, once you've added those details and your group details and who you are, you click Get Free Quote and you're done. And then every hotel that you've selected is contacted through the system and we make sure they respond to you.
Okay. There's a question here about how is this priced, which I'm going to answer offline, obviously. But there is a question, follow on to that, that says, is there a higher price if your people have to follow up with the hotels?
No.
Okay. And how do approvals work?
Great. Well, thank you. So I'll show you. So in the My Trips, sorry to jump around. So when you are done with a booking, you are directed to your My Trips page. So from your My Trips page, you have the ability to view your bookings. Everything that's in blue is an instant booking. Everything that says RFP or is not color-coded is a request. So you're able to view that. And then once you are, I'm going to go into this one, I believe. So from here, this is where the arranger can view all of their information. And you're able to see all of your properties. You can compare. This is where they negotiate from, ask for a contract, etc. They can also view the proposal. So I picked the wrong lead, and I'm just about to answer that question. So from here, again, everything that you do in the system, you are actually getting emails from the system, but you can come back and you can view your proposals right from this tool, and you can compare everything and view the proposals again. So next Friday, big day for us, we're very excited. There's going to be a new tab right here that says Approvals. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow the admin to request approval, and they're going to, this portal will be loaded with the approver's credentials, so we will know who in your organization needs to approve it. If it's often different people, they can also free-form put an email in here. So with the tool, it's going to pop up an email that's going to go to them. It's going to have, Dear Approver, here's your request. There can attach the contract if that's needed. We have a trip summary. As the approver, they can either approve it, decline it, or request more info. So they can say, I approve the request, I decline it, I need more info. One of the other questions on the request more info is, do you have an attrition penalty? You know, those standard questions that are important. And the budget can also be managed here. If you are using meeting cards or saying that, you know, one-time use card of $5,000, that can go back to the arranger here. And we have found a lot of corporations like that because it is basically ensuring that they're not going over the budget. So that's how the approvals work. And then all of the emails are sent as a typical email, but also captured in the inbox section of each trip.
Okay. Next question is actually a two-parter. Says, I assume when I log in, I have my own login, so nobody else sees the meetings I'm working with. And then the follow-on to that says, can multiple people work on the same meeting? Multiple arrangers work on the same meeting?
Great question. So today, if you were to hang up the call and wanted to visit the Travel On site, the first thing that you would do is sign up. Each user creates their individual and unique password, typically that they would know. They are the only ones at this time that can view all of their meetings. We do have an admin view for the approvers, so that the approvers or other stakeholders, maybe a procurement or a travel manager, could view everything that's going on within the organization. If you and a colleague were both working the same one, we don't have that third level of user hierarchy at the moment. That could be done by sharing the emails that are received, or, you know, having a mutual generic login. And we also, I'm just going to add on that, I mean, that's another reason why somebody might want to have a departmental login or create a special email address just for this, is one of the benefits is that we are ensuring that you're getting responses. We feel that most arrangers like the personalized follow-up via email. Your phone number's there, they may call you. But if you don't think you have it on your plate to actually take those follow-ups, and just being able to access it when you have the time, then setting up a generic email address just for the portal for a department would be a good idea.
Okay, great. And last question. When is the room block management coming? Will there be an additional cost for it? And confirm that you said that individual travelers will be able to interact with the system to grab their rooms.
Great. That's wonderful. Listening. Fantastic. So yes, all of that is correct. So individual room block management is a project that we are working on now. And we expect to release it at GBTA in July. I think it will be ready to be used end of August. And so with that comes some additional integration for the Concur customers, but it's not reliant upon that. But yes, once the planner comes in and creates their block, they can either assign rooms, they can invite guests to come in and claim a room, or they can share a link. And from there, there's also additional categories: job code, department, cost center, loyalty card, very important, all of the informations. And there is a cost to that tool.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, seeing no more questions coming in, thank you, Elisa, very much for your time and the information today. It's a great product, and I hope we'll have lots of people taking advantage of it. I want to thank our audience also for your time of participation today. The webinar has been recorded, as always, and it will be available for replay. If anybody has additional questions or you'd like more information about Groupize, please do contact your Travel On account manager. Also, if you would mark your calendars now for our next monthly webinar, the date is July 12th. And the topic is going to be everything you ever wanted to know about TSA PreCheck. So again, thank you everyone, and enjoy the remainder of your day. Bye-bye.